everybody, and welcome to the second episode in this Evolution of Halo Concept Art Edition. In this episode, we're going to be diving into the elites. How much did they change during the conceptual phase of Halo Combat Evolved? That's what we're going to be diving into today, because it's pretty crazy. They went through so many changes. These guys, for example, almost had tails. What? So anyway, we're going to be diving into all that in this video, so I hope you guys enjoy. And just in case you guys are new here, I make new Halo videos every single week, so be sure to subscribe. But guys, let's dive right into the Evolution of the Elite Conceptual Art Edition. I guess that's what I'm calling this series now. And just in case you didn't see my last episode of this where I covered the evolution of the grunts, be sure to check it out. It's already up on the channel, but I have no way of telling which draft of the elite is the very first draft. So basically the way I'm going to do this is look at the concept art and decide, which version is the farthest away from elite you can be, and then just get closer and closer until finally we get to the launch variant that we saw in Halo Combat Evolved. So let's dive into the very first photo in what I believe is the furthest away from an elite you can possibly be, and here it is. This thing looks like a xenomorph from the Aliens movies. I actually love this design. Not in Halo, but I love it. I think it looks so cool. It looks so freaking gnarly. It looks like it's just absolutely super lethal, but I get why they didn't go with this design. It doesn't look like it has a higher intellect that you would want from, like, in the Covenant, you know what I mean? It just looks like it's just, this thing is just eviscerating just like Marines, but it's got a gun. It looks like it's attached to its actual arm, like the anatomy is a part of the gun, like the gun. It's really wheeled. It's got really long, weird claws and giant feet. I love this from a design perspective, but I just, this isn't Halo, so I get why they scrapped it. Now, moving on to the next one, you get this guy. And this guy looks like the lizard from Spider-Man, and that's not supposed to be a compliment. I really don't like this. I mean, you can definitely see like where they're inching closer to the elite design that we have, like just by like the way the legs are shaped and the arms and the really long neck. But the face completely throws me off. I don't want to look at that. And he's got like a staff. But the weirdest thing is there's a freaking tail, dude. That's a tail. And I don't like that. That's bad. And so, yeah, I mean, we're nowhere near the mark here, but let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And here it is. This is getting a little bit closer. This is definitely better than weirdo face that we saw last time, but you're starting to see that they actually have armor. They're not naked. He's got some armor. He's still got that damn tail. And you can actually see he's got like the big hooves here. Hooves. But anyway, he's got those. He's got this weird armor thing going around the back of his neck, which we don't see in Halo. And but what's really weird is it looks like on his helmet he's got 6 eyes. This dude's got 6 eyes. That's weird. And so moving on to the next one, it's pretty similar. What I really like about this is that, they got rid of the 6 eyes. He still has the tail. For some reason, they took away his hooves and replaced them with what looks like feet, which is, weird because they actually stuck with the hooves. But what's cool about this is that he's getting that face that you saw in the very first Halo Combat Evolved gameplay demo, where they didn't have the elites didn't have the mandibles yet. So it's got like a flapping jaw. But that's actually the draft that you see in that gameplay demo, so it's cool to see that's about where they were whenever they released that. And it's cool because I love looking at these, because these drawings came from 1999, and it's just crazy to see just over the course of the next 2 years before the game released, you can see what they decided to keep, like hooves, and what they decided to change, like the tail. Okay, so moving on to the next one, and this one's really cool because it brings me right back to the gameplay demo as well, but here it is. And this guy is getting pretty close. I mean, this guy is looking cool. He's clearly got a plasma rifle in his hand. His armor is pretty rad. I hope to see something like that eventually in Halo. But he's got the energy shield, dude. He's got the energy shield that you see in the Combat Evolved gameplay demo that the Elite was carrying, and that's so cool. I mean, I've always wondered, because you don't see jackals in that gameplay demo, if this was the idea of the jackal, that a jackal would just be a higher ranking Elite. And I've always thought that was really neat, but this guy's looking good. You can actually see by the lines in the armor in his face that they have mandibles. You can see that it actually can, like, there's a room for them to move up and down. The general shape of the helmet is the design that we have of the elites in Halo. And this guy's looking badass. I would actually love to see a variant of this like show up in Halo today. Like, since Halo Infinite is coming out, next year, it would be really cool if like the banished honor guards, if there is such a thing, wore like armor like this with energy shields, with energy swords. How crazy would that be? I don't know, I love it. But moving on, And here we are at the next image, and I think this is about as close as you can get to the final version of the Halo Combat Evolved Elite as you can get. He still has those spikes on his shoulders from the one we saw before, which I think is really cool. They ultimately went away with that, but this guy is pretty damn close to what we saw in Halo Combat Evolved. Now, I said this in the last video too, one of the things I love about all of this is the fact that you can look at these guys and see, like, you know, Halo Combat Evolved's graphics in 2001 weren't that amazing, but so they couldn't get all the little details on this guy, but as graphics got better in Halo 2 and Halo 3 and Halo Reach, they were able to add more of details onto his armor, and I just think that's so cool. Here's actually a shot of the same thing from behind, and it's looking good. You know, that's an elite, clearly recognizable, and then that leads us to the launch elite that we saw in Halo Combat Evolved. Here he is in all of his glory, the one we know and love that they just continue to innovate on. I like choked on my own breath for a second, but they continue to innovate on for years and years, and we love them. They're great. I've always thought of the elites of like the samurai of the Covenant. I love them, and it's just so cool to see how far they changed. How they almost started out looking like aliens from, or xenomorphs from Alien, and maybe even looking like the lizard from Spider-Man. Thank God somebody was there to tell them that, no, that ain't right. Let's steer away from the tails and the weird faces and go with something clearly more badass. But here we are, guys, the elite from Halo Combat Evolved. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I plan to make more in this series because this is just so fun to go back and look at the concept art of these amazing designs that we know and love from Halo. Be sure to let me know down in the comments which ones you want to see next. I plan on doing them all, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. By the time this video is actually going up, it's actually going to be my birthday, and then the day after that's Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day, so don't be expecting any videos for at least the next 3 days or so until after the holidays pass. I plan on putting up my top 5 games of 2020, the same thing I've done every year since I started doing stuff on YouTube, so be on the lookout for that. This year was crazy, but we got some good games. You know, that's nice. But either way, I'll catch you guys in the next video. My phone just went off. My wife just texted me. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.